featuring Tessa's Army and Evan Smith. A little background on Tessa's Army. They play in the Summer Ball Showdown. They are national champions, and Sean loves them.
I don't want to go that far.
But as always, how are you guys doing this morning?
Doing good.
Are we ready for the cold?
Had a nice little chilly lift this morning.
It
really wasn't that bad, actually, but
heated up.
it was a little chillier than
That
normal.
that 21 mile per hour wind is just not fun right now.
Yeah. -7 or -9,
Yeah.
something like that is what it feels like.
Yeah, and then by 5 o'clock we're supposed to have snow and -5. Sweet.
I was texting with my family this morning. They're up in Iowa, and where my older brother's at, it's -15 with a -29-degree wind chill.
Wow.
It's rough.
Up northwest Iowa. It's about the same as central
Do they have
Iowa,
a bunch
too.
of snow or no?
I don't know.
Just
It's going to
really
be this
too?
cold. I'd prefer 8 to 10 inches of snow.
Yeah.
Might as
Yeah.
well just do
Yeah.
the full
Just-
thing.
Yeah,
Do the
just
full
get us there.
Get it
I'd
going.
take snow over wind.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
But when they combine, then it gets.
Then it just is
Then it
annoying.
gets wild. Somehow it ends up in here.
yeah, that's true.
Hopefully not this time.
Yeah, hopefully not. So quick shout out to Denton for the sign. Finally got it hung up. Hopefully you can read it. It says KS Sports HQ above Sean.
We're actually going to do this pod with the lights off, so you can read
Yeah,
it. So
yeah,
just
we'll-
go ahead
we
and
will
cut
all-
those lights off
When we
for us,
invest
Sean.
in better lighting, it'll look better. Where we
Go ahead
can
and take all the
turn off
office
I mean, you
fluorescent
just have to
lighting.
put that on
Oh, whoa,
high
I got kicked out.
and then turn it on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
kicked me out.
Oh, well, we can still hear his voice, just not see his face. Nothing
Rude.
wrong there. Nothing wrong there. So, Evan, what's we're happy to have you here.
Yeah.
You know,
Thanks for having
we
me.
were before we went live. You just reminded me that we always just call in, and usually there's like a kid running around in the back, or your wife's walking behind you, and we're talking about Tessa's Army and sharing that message. So let's take a deep dive into Tessa's Army and your baseball journey, so people can
Sure.
understand like a little bit of your background, and then everything else that has come in between.
Yeah, sure. So I'm from Wichita, Kansas here. Went to Northwest High School. Gavin Dar's a good buddy of mine, Jacob Baca, some of the guys that you're familiar with, have run into recently. After that, I spent a year at Hutchinson Community College and then spent a year at Highland Community College, so a couple years in the Jayhawk. And then a lot of what I do in coaching is from, I guess, my failures or my decisions as a player. And so I actually didn't get hurt, wasn't injured. I just decided to walk away from the game when I was a sophomore. I was a redshirt freshman. I got hurt my senior year at Northwest, something called osteochondritis, which is a knee injury. And so I had to redshirt at Hutch. And then I transferred to Highland my redshirt freshman year. Some guys from here, Trey Eisman, John Buchanan, some local guys were going to Highland, so I went with them. Gavin was actually my roommate. That's where I met my wife. So that is kind of the good that came out of Highland, I guess.
Sure.
But I look back now, and I was very mentally weak as a player. And when a coach is talking to you, a coach or an adult, that's a good thing, And my coach was doing that. He was an old school guy, which that's kind of how I am now. And so I've kind of adopted a lot of the coaches that I had and what their perspective on sports and life is. And at that time, I just didn't understand he was coaching me. He would jump you up and down, and he was giving you attention, which was a positive thing. And
Sure.
I just kind of turned my shoulder and was like, man, this isn't for me. I got to go home.
Mm.
So after my freshman year at Highland, I had my associates and moved back home and lived with my parents and got a job at the Credit Union of America as a part-time teller, and got my degree in secondary education from Wichita State. And that's where me and Baca connected. I jumped a bunch of details, but Jeff Hoover I played
Okay.
for in high school for a year. And so that's how Baca and I connected. Baca was done at Newman, and I was done with junior college route. So we connected through some off-season workouts with the Grays initially. You want me to keep going or stop? Or
No, you're good.
It's your
We're
it's your
connecting the dots.
stuff. We'll interject.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
Sean won't. we will interject for sure.
Yeah.
But we want to learn more about your journey and see how you've grown into that national
where we're at,
champion and how you recruit and stuff like that. We won't share all the secrets, but
I mean, growing up too, my dad and a couple other dads coached us. We were called the Wichita Dodgers until we were 16 years old. I think the summer after our sophomore year was when we kind of broke up or dissolved and went our separate ways. My junior summer, I played for Jeff and the Grays with Creighton and Chris Roman and some of those guys. And then my senior year, I was going to play for Brent Holman and the Jets, which was an independent team that had a bunch of Carroll guys, Mays. And I'd got hurt that spring, so I wasn't able to do that. But then I spent a year redshirting at Hutch with Crooks was there, Jamel Cervantes was on staff. And then that's when I left and went to Highland. And so I really only played 1 year of college baseball. But learning, going through some adversities and kind of being a mental midget, if you will, has allowed me to become successful in my career and successful spouse, father, and become a coach. That kind of propelled me to want to do the curve. I'm able to help those kids get over obstacles in life and prepare them for college, maybe some of the things I wasn't ready for. So
I love it. It's crazy to think about how just small, how big but how small the baseball community is around here.
Yeah,
just like all the names you're listing off. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember the Jets. I remember this. I remember that. Like that's wild.
Yeah.
That's talk to me a little bit about the injury. So is that something that just happened on its own? Like was it something that was on the field? Like what? How did that come about?
It happened over time. I don't want to say I always had bad knees and use that as an excuse or a cop out. But yeah, it was an injury that happened over time. And they don't really know when or where it started.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I'd always had bad knees and I had some pain throughout my high school career. Yeah. And then my senior year, it wasn't a pop, but I just felt we played our first game senior year at Mays against Blue Valley West. And I was playing center field and I just remember there was a ball hit over my right shoulder and I just remember turning to go and it just didn't feel right. So I went home and told my parents that night. It was swole up huge. Yeah. Could barely walk. And we went into the doctor, and they're like, yeah, basically a crack through a fracture of the kneecap is essentially what it is. Yeah.
Well, have you run into any walls?
That's what I mean. I mean, I ran cross country and played basketball and baseball and just over the years kind of tore up my kneecap, I guess.
Stress fracture type thing.
Yeah.
That's wild. So when you were finishing up, so obviously high school, we talked to a lot of athletes and just the journey, right? So trying to piece together different hurdles and different things that happen.
Yeah.
Kind of walk us through your perspective, because I think there's a lot of kids out there that are playing right now, right? They play high school sports. They think they want to go and play in college, which is a unique perspective, I think, from what you're kind of sharing, because most of the time we're talking to people that are going and super successful college careers, like they're shooting for the stars, Division I kids, they're really trying to do this and that. You might have been a little bit on the other side of that spectrum where it was like, yeah, talent was there, right? You were able to get some opportunity, but then when you showed up, it was a whole different thing for you, right? Yeah. So walk through that a little bit, and then maybe what you felt while that was happening.
Sure.
But then hopefully somebody can learn something from that and being like, okay, what would I do differently now?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, I think a big thing for me, in high school too, Travis Stockholm was our head coach, and he had some minor league baseball experience and played 10 years of professional baseball. And when you play at that level, those guys just have a different mentality or mindset. And I think the biggest thing I would say, whether it's a youth, 5 to 12 or high school age, junior college, 4-year, minor league, whatever the case may be, I would say when a coach says, hey, I have an open door policy as a player, you should abuse that, because when things are going easy and you're winning, everybody's happy. But somebody gets hurt, we lose a couple games. Coach's job is to win. And so when you have a player-coach relationship, I guess I would stress that to any athlete of any age, have a relationship with your head coach, your manager, the GM, if they allow it. That way, good, bad, or ugly, everybody has the same vision or a shared vision.
100%.
Yeah.
Did you feel like that was kind of a challenge for you as you made that step into college? Do you feel like you touched on it a little bit, like he was talking to you, trying to get onto you, like trying to probably motivate, but also just, hard-nosed coach you a little bit. Yeah. Do you feel like while that was going on, you were not receptive to it at that point in time, I think is what you mentioned, but while that was going on, what was kind of your mentality then, and then what would you do differently today?
Yeah, that was my mentality. I look back and it's been, 10, 12 years ago, and I'm the one that's at fault. And while you're going through that process or that experience, you're like, man, this coach is just, he's not the guy for me. He's the jerk, he's the asshole. And you look back and it's like, man, I wish I would have been coachable. I would have stayed another year, because then, you would have played four-year baseball somewhere.
Yeah.
Got an opportunity to play, and that just didn't happen because I just didn't want to spend the time with them.
I'll come in there in a second. Interjection.
Partner interruption. This is brought to you by 7 Brew Coffee. If you want to try a new discount code, Tessa's Army 10.
That's funny.
And thank you, Evan, for bringing those. And
Man, that probably won't work, but
yeah,
good luck.
but hey, if you're listening and you want to give it a shot,
Yeah.
just give it a try.
But no, that's cool. I think that, we talk to kids every day. Obviously, that's what we do for a living, and helping them understand, because we deal with all walks of life, right? Young kids all the way up to college guys, pro guys, like everything across the board. And being coachable is very easy to say, but it is something that is like its own tool. You know what I mean? Like, it's a tool for the tool belt is the way that my brain, wraps around it. It's, you got to be willing to kind of roll with, whether it's a good day, a bad day, a middle day, whatever you want to call it. Like, as a player, you have to understand that, you're there to learn. You're there to take in. You want to be that sponge. You want to, and it's not always going to be perfect, right? I've seen a lot of coaches out there in my eyes where they do it the wrong way, but they're still trying to get the best out of every athlete that they got. Like you said, it's their job to win. Especially at the collegiate level, like their jobs kind of depend on it. And so there's a lot of dynamics that go into that, but being coachable is more than just listening, which I think Sean kind of talked about the other day when we were on here. It's, not only do you need to listen, but you got to be able to apply. Like, you have to be able to take what's being said to you, but then also do something with it. Right. And we live in a day and age now where it's like everybody's feelings gets hurt, and, like everybody's all sad and just all these different things. And it's like, playing sports at this level is a privilege. Like, and as soon as you get to the point where in your brain, you've made that decision to where it's like, I'm not the one that has this opportunity. Like, that's where things start to derail, and that's where things will go a bad direction is, you get kids in there thinking that they're owed something by this coach or this program or this thing. And that turns into a whole different thing, which, you can't perform at a high level if that's what you're constantly focused on, and you're constantly focused on those negatives essentially in your head. But
that's a good, that I was going to add on to that.
Go ahead,
right there. Yeah. You have a little bit of a negative self-talk, although I was an everyday guy and, I'm in the weight room. I've got good grades. Like, I'm doing what I need to do. But when we get to practice at 2:00 in the afternoon and, he's just ripping us up and down, in my head, I'm just having negative. Why doesn't he like me? What am I doing wrong?
Right. Everything
Everything is negative, and that just built up. And when there's no relationship, I'm over here and he's on the other side. When it comes time to renew your letter of intent for next year, I'm just like, deuces.
Out of here.
Yeah.
Well, it's definitely a two-way street, and it's nice to hear that you take your own accountability for it, which is awesome. And obviously
Like
that shows
90% of the battle.
shows your growth and, as a player, but then turning into a coach, like maturing and that type of stuff. But from a coach's perspective, it's also on coaches too. Like, we have to be able to identify those situations. I'm sure, I don't know if you've ever talked to that coach ever again about that or not, but I would guesstimate that he probably has some thoughts where he's like, I could have done it this way. I could have done it that way, like different things to do different things. And, I mean, it's just there's a lot of dynamics that go into it, but it's cool to hear that other perspective because, like I said, I mean, we deal with athletes all the time, but hearing, because you could have probably played for another 3 years, you could have probably kept playing, like talented player, and been able to keep doing it. And to think that one thing turned into a massive thing, right?
Absolutely.
But through good communication, the maturity changing, now you're doing something positive with it, which is awesome. So let's kind of transition over into that, like, as motivation, and you guys are kind of doing stuff in the summertime now. So you're no longer coaching like high school sports at all, right?
Yeah, completely out of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So not doing that. So you kind of transition more into, kind of collegiate and post-collegiate ball. So tell us a little bit, Tessa's Army, obviously you guys have a massive mission, right? And there's a whole backstory behind that. So let's kind of start there. Let's start with Tessa's Army and just where that kind of comes from and what the story is there. And then we'll kind of ask some questions along the way.
Gosh, I should have brought some notes.
No, you're
I
fine.
thought I might do that, and I didn't. 'cause
Oh,
just so much
nobody
info.
does. Nobody does
need
the
them.
notes.
Yeah, no,
Nobody
There's a lot that
on
goes
the
into
fly.
it. I mean that. It's a memorial team for my sister, but there are many ways that we've gotten to the point where we're at with Tessa's Army. It started as a nonprofit, the golf tournament, the T for Tess, and so we raise funds through a golf tournament each fall, and those funds then are put into the Tess Smith Memorial Scholarship Fund at Wichita Northwest High School, and students are allowed to apply for that scholarship, and they write an essay on how they pay it forward, which is what Tess did. She was a very friendly person, and with her friends, her teachers, her students, her colleagues and things like that, she would pay it forward, put others first. And so that's kind of the mission behind it, is to pay it forward. So we've established the golf tournament and the scholarship fund. And Tessa's Army didn't come about until our first summer with you guys was 2023. And that kind of started with two different things. One, me and Jake Jones and Josh Jones had put together, after the Newton Rebels didn't qualify for the NBC in 2022, Josh had helped carve that summer. And so we got the Newton Rebels jerseys, if you guys remember that. And so in 2022, yeah, we were like the Misfit Rebels. We had the jerseys, and we paid.
Oh, they're downstairs.
You still got them.
I still got them.
They're
So I
clean.
I called one of you guys, and you were like, sure, yeah, put a team in, pay your entry fee. And so we threw together a team in, I don't know, 10 days or something like that.
I
So-
remember that. What
so-
are the rules, Dave? Dave, what are
Yeah.
the rules? Hey, what's the rules? Yeah.
So that's where the baseball side came in. And the name Tessa's Army, actually, I stole from, I used to play men's league softball down at South Lakes.
Oh, yeah.
Just a work team. We weren't very good. But one of the teams in the league was
Jake's Army?
Army.
Oh.
That's where I got the
I used to
digital
play on Jake's
digital
Army.
camo, and the Army was Tessa's Army from Jake's Army. I don't know who Jake is, but they had cool jerseys, and I like the name.
Okay.
So
That's
Newton
awesome.
Rebels in 22 and Jake's Army in 2023, there was the inception of Tessa's Army.
Jake's Army has a backstory too.
I assume it's something
Mhm.
similar. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Very
pretty
much so.
cool.
Yeah.
So with that, so you're obviously forming the team. You guys play kind of makeshift inside of that. Like, what are some of the? You do the golf tournament. You
Yeah.
have the scholarship. Do you have other? The Tessa's Army is a baseball team,
Right.
right? Does Tessa's Army dip into any other things? Like, is it anything other than just the baseball team?
I don't really know. The mission behind it is really, it just started to continue to spread Tessa's name and legacy for my mom.
Yeah.
And when we did that in 2023, we were like, man, we got some decent talent. And then that is still the mission.
Sure.
But if we're able to get the kind of talent we are, let's try to be competitive.
Heck yeah.
And so the golf tournament is still the primary driver in raising funds for the scholarship.
Gotcha.
The baseball team, we did win in 24, so we were able to put some of that cash towards the scholarship.
Yep.
So we increased it from 25 to $5,000 for that year, which was awesome.
That's cool.
So yeah, I guess in a small way, it has been a part of the scholarship.
Yeah.
But it's really more of a legacy.
Yeah.
The golf tournament is still
The main
The
thing.
main
Well, I was
thing,
just
yeah.
thinking out loud of if you got Tessa's Army, maybe you guys can enter into like the, like corporate games and like all the different little things that are around.
Corporate
you know?
challenge.
Yeah, whatever those
that'd
are.
Be,
you
that'd
know?
be fun. Well, I mean, your
Yeah.
day job would do that too.
yeah.
Yeah,
Just thinking
but-
of, just different cool ways that Tessa's Army can bounce around to other networks and other events and other things that are going on to just continue to share the message.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then also just to kind of, have the branding out there so people can see it.
Tessa's Army joins YPL.
Yeah, like just fun stuff like that. Like it's just a cool, you think of an army, it's big, it's got all kinds of, little tentacles everywhere,
Oh, yeah.
doing
Yeah.
stuff like that.
I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like it's grown quite a bit since you started playing in the tournament, and then the more people understand when we did our first interviews for the Summer Ball Showdown, like that had a a ton of views. I don't want to say
Yeah.
a million because that's exaggeration, but it had
Yeah.
about 1,000 views within the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And you had people come out and like, hey, I really like the mission here. I'm going to root for them.
Yeah.
And that's the ultimate goal in all of this is to really, push you guys forward
Yeah.
and just share your message.
Absolutely.
So, but seeing you guys win that, I don't know. I talked to Najee about it,
Mhm.
Wellington Heat, and
That was
wild.
wild.
Oh my
That,
gosh!
we
Just
talked about that
two-
once already. That was the craziest game of
Yeah.
all time.
2 crazy games.
8 in the 8th.
Yeah. They got us last year.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you had Hartman in here. I actually went and watched friends play Oklahoma City yesterday.
Yeah, I was gonna
Hartman
go
is,
over there.
dude, he is just a gamer.
He's just scrappy, dude.
I mean, every at bat, 7, 8, 9 pitches.
yeah, he's
Had the
scrappy.
game-winning hit in the second game.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Good for him.
They won
Well,
4-2. Friends
I need to
swept
reach
them.
out to him.
But yeah, I mean, you just if I was on the other side, I mean, the Heat had the game won. I mean,
Not very many games when you're
Right.
up by 8 in the 8th inning.
You know what I-
end up
yeah.
losing.
we're
Yeah.
sitting on the other side thinking, man, we're getting our ass beat.
Yeah.
It was a good run, guys. We took second. We
Yeah.
got free entry into next year. This is
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
You know?
Nobody's upset.
Yeah, nobody's upset at all. And then we win it. And then last year we play the Heat, and what happened. They stole home twice.
It was crazy.
We
too.
lost in the bottom of the
you know
10th.
who noticed that, right?
Got us back.
Miles
Hartman.
Hartman.
Yeah. Did I say Mason?
No,
No,
you said
no,
Miles.
okay.
you
You're
just
good.
said
Yeah,
Miles,
I meant
yeah.
Miles. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
both those games just absolutely wild.
Yeah.
Well, I was sitting up in the top box, and I was like, "This is the championship game right here."
Yeah.
And then it just like it was wild again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, electric on both of them for sure. Talk about, so in the championship game,
Mhm.
Playing in that, going into it, how did that kind of feel just making? Because that was the first time you made the championship game,
Sure,
right? Is
yeah.
that the only championship?
I mean, this
been close.
2025 was our third year. So
Right.
in 20, well, yeah. So I thought about this. 2022, Dirtbags won it.
Yep.
In 2023, we lost to the Dirtbags in the bottom of the ninth.
Uh-huh.
Miggy Ramos
Yeah, because that
Okay.
was on.
Yeah.
had the game-winning hit in the bottom
Yep.
of the ninth.
Yep.
So then in 2024, we went through the gauntlet. The Walnuts won it in 23.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
We beat the Walnuts in pool play in
Yep.
2024. Then we had to beat the Mud Daubers.
Yeah.
We had to beat the Patriots.
Yep.
And then Farmhouse Sports Performance was hot.
Yeah,
and we
see-
I don't know if they ran out of pitching or what, but we kind of took it to them.
See, in
in the
that game,
semis.
I remember the Patriots
This
game
year?
because I was watching.
This was in
that.
24. I'm
Last-
just saying
yeah.
Okay.
each year we've had to play either the defending champion. Well, we
Yeah.
have had to play the defending champion. And
I
then
know what
this year the
happened.
Heat ended up to win.
I
ended
know
up
what happened
winning
to
it.
FSP for 2025. They found the sandbox. Seriously, he told
Came
me
to
it was like,
party?
"Wait, we found the sandbox and I
Yeah.
accidentally closed it down."
Yeah.
Yeah, probably not a smart decision.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean our 24 team, I mean it wasn't an easy road by any means.
Right.
We did save some pitching against Farmhouse, but we threw Bryson Vodder, who's at Western Kentucky, and he went
Yep.
7 and
Yep.
beat him 11-2 or whatever. And then we got to the Heat and we started Gunnar Phillips, who was the number 1 for Southern Nazarene.
Yep.
So it wasn't like you were just starting to nobody.
Right. For
And he's
sure.
not a strikeout guy,
Right.
And I mean the Heat were just good that
Yeah,
year.
they just pieced it
Yeah.
together a little bit then.
yeah.
I just remember that Patriots game. I was watching that from the players' tent in that one, and you guys went into extras in that game.
yeah.
I just remember that. Yeah, that pop up to second base, kid
Yep.
drops it. Like it.
Yeah.
That was a wild game too. Like
Yeah,
you
it
guys have
was.
just been in some wild games
Yeah.
out there. Like just
To
watching them.
To the
Yep.
Which one are you
The,
talking about?
the Patriots where the second baseman ran to center field and called off the center fielder
Oh,
Braden,
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
and
Like
and then
ran out and then dropped, and they had a runner on second.
Yeah.
Well, the first pitch, no, they doubled up the guy on second. So it was like had a runner on second. First pitch was like a line drive to shortstop. It was like quick, got out. They had 2 outs. And then I think you got a guy on. He stole second, and then it was the drop ball, and that's how
Yeah.
they scored.
second baseman tried to dive 4 feet for
Yeah.
a ball that
Yeah.
he had no
I mean, they
business
doubled him up
for,
on
and
the
then
first pitch in extra innings. Like it was like, oh, okay, 2 outs. This
Yeah.
game's over.
It's over. Yeah.
And then the guy gets on,
Psych.
steals,
Yeah.
and then this second baseman's running out there, and it's just,
Braden's camping underneath it.
yeah. He's like, why are you calling
Because
me off?
when they were
Yeah.
playing the Heat and we were watching that game this past tournament, the second baseman for the Heat let one drop
Yeah.
down the foul line too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Naj was not happy about that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he was talking. Yeah, that was. I mean, I
You
I
just-
remember watching that and just thinking to myself, which I think probably every player on Tessa's Army was thinking the same thing. They were probably like, what the hell are these dumbass base runners doing? Like, honestly, because that's what I thought. I was sitting by the kid's mom, actually, and I turned and looked at her, and I was like, what is he doing? Like,
Right.
what? Like, you know, he's out there he gets to second base. He hustles. So, and I don't know if that was in the 9th to tie it.
Yeah, they stole home. I don't remember the details, but yeah,
I think this
they
was in the
stole
9th.
home to tie the game in the 9th, and then they stole
Yeah.
home to win the game.
Yeah, so this
in the
was the
10th.
one that was in the 9th because it was Doc.
Mm-hmm.
He was hitting, and he had a little bleeder up the middle, and he hustled. Like, he busted ass to second base.
Yeah.
Like, it was a straight hustle play, and so obviously it's going crazy there. First pitch, he steals third.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just walking down, it like takes off. And I swear, I looked at the pitcher, and he was like,
Yeah.
he's like, what is this kid doing? You know, like, what? Like, I cannot. Like, he was like visibly shocked that
It's
the.
the Randy effect over there. at
Well, and they
Valley
had
Center.
2 outs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sitting there thinking, like, dude, that's the game on the line, and you're like
Yeah.
one base hit away, and you're fast enough to score.
Mm-hmm.
And this dude's just walking to third base like out of nowhere, and then 2
Yeah.
pitches later, he steals freaking home.
Yeah.
I was just like,
And we were ahead 3-2, bottom of the 9th, 2 outs, 2 strikes.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
dude
And
just takes off.
yeah, our catcher Hartman said it. You know, our
Yeah.
catcher just wasn't checking the runner back. Lobbed it in and stole home. I mean, it's part of the game.
It is. It's
As
just,
much as it sucks.
when you
know?
think of collegiate level baseball and beyond, like, it's just so. To me, that's just like so high school type things that happen. You just don't
Yeah.
see it very often,
Yeah.
you know? And just watching it happen live, I just remember like, I turned to his mom and said, dude, I don't know if he's crazy or if he's just got big balls, but it's one of the two and maybe a little mix of both. But I was just shocked. I had no idea what
Baseball,
was happening.
baseball's
place
kind
went-
of beautiful, and where like there's so many points in the game where a play happens that it's either you're a genius and it's the best
Mhm.
thing that ever happened, but if it goes the other way, you're a retard.
Uh-huh.
You should never
Yeah.
even like,
Yeah,
oh,
like,
yeah,
dude, you're going to
you-
get beat up in the dugout.
You messed up.
That's
big
what I
time,
thought when
like-
he stole third. I was like, dude, if that dude gets thrown out right there, like, you're going to get jumped by your own team. Like, you got 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. You're down by 1. You're a base hit away. Like, and you're going to score. Like, you're moving on a swing.
But
Like,
that-
Yeah.
and it's
just
not-
stupid.
But it's
But
not
you
even
also-
it's not even just the base running right. It's not even. It's just like if a player trying to dive for a ball in the outfield, right?
yeah, for no reason.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, or like you know,
Situational.
yeah, and if you take the risk and you succeed, it's like you're a hero. You're a gamer. You did it. If you take the risk and you hesitate for 1 little millisecond and it goes the other way, it's like you're an idiot, man. We really blew it.
In the hopes of that, you think if the catcher caught it, you just hopefully say sail. That's what, like, you're praying for the sail, and
Right.
and everyone's just kind of what, the whole Tim the Toolman Taylor.
Yeah.
Like, what? Yeah, that just, you've been in some electric games, man,
Yeah.
and that's I mean, hats off to you. I still want to know your recruiting strategy. Not
Sure.
that you need to share it with everybody, like all the here's and there's of it, but you're very active on Twitter,
Yeah.
and you reach out to players. Hey, man, you want to come on up and do these things? So kind of share that thought process, because you find some pretty good players. I mean,
Yeah.
Turles didn't just show up and
Yeah.
show out. I mean,
Yeah.
and then he went on to have an even better year the next year. And that's our
Yeah.
ultimate goal, is to give these guys, like in the KCLB, give them a season to develop, show them what postseason's like, what it's like to compete, and then go to a national tournament where teams come in from all over the place.
Yeah.
And then get that hype going right into fall. So
Absolutely.
like, what's your strategy there? Like, how do you
Yeah.
what do you think what's your hello like when you message them?
To be honest with you, I'm very detailed, and I have a strategy. When we first put together Tessa's Army in 2023, I built out a spreadsheet, an Excel spreadsheet, by school position. So catchers, pitchers, corner infielder, middle infielder, outfielder, left-handed hitter, right-handed hitter, and then their stats. So it's a lot of hard work, I'll tell you that. And then I just get fortunate that the league has ended and they're looking for a couple more at bats, or I'm not one to just sit and train all summer. I hate that. I think guys should be playing. But in my case, I do get lucky if guys are training, because they'd like some game reps before they go back to their school in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I built out a spreadsheet. Each year I start with my returners, my foundation, guys that are available come back. And then as far as pitching goes, I start here in the Jayhawk, and then I'll go KCAC, MIAA. We've had some D1 guys here locally, and I try to stay within a neighboring state just so it's not too big of an ask as far as travel goes.
Yeah.
But my sales pitch really isn't anything special. I mean, I send them the Summer Bowl Showdown link. There's no cost for you to eat this week. There's no cost for lodging. We'll typically do a team Airbnb, and any other players stay at our house. We'll have anywhere from 6 to 10 throughout the week, and then the others stay at an Airbnb. And then I just explain what the tournament is. 2 pool play games. If we're good, we'll play 4 in bracket. If we don't do so good, we'll have to play 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get rings, hats, jerseys.
Yeah.
Get a free bid for next year.
Yeah.
You're going to meet guys that you'll talk to for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
It's an open tournament. I like the format. 21, you can drink beer.
Yeah.
True.
There you go.
True.
During the game.
During the game.
No.
Especially in the bullpen. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, are we not doing? Oh,
Well,
That,
yeah,
that wasn't Tessa's Army.
No, it wasn't. When I found out about that, I kicked the bucket.
That's not a good look.
Yeah.
But
So-
no, your guys' team, like, I love since the inception of like putting Summer Ball Showdown together, like the whole idea of the open style. To me, I just love competition,
Yeah.
and like that was always a big thing. Like with the other tournament, seeing all of the strings being pulled behind the scenes and all the stuff, because I was in those meetings watching them bend the rules here, bend the rules there, blah blah blah. I just hated that. Like it literally just rubbed me the wrong way. And to me, it's like, if you're going to allow people to do certain things, you should have let everybody do it, number one. And number two, you shouldn't set it up to where it's favoring certain people because they're coming from farther away or they've been here longer or whatever. And it was very obvious that those things were happening. And so for us, like the concept is like, man, you want to put a team together and come strap it up and play? Let's play.
Yeah.
And that's, I just feel like with baseball especially, like that's like
It's beautiful.
it's like the soul of the game.
Yeah.
Like you can go and play. You get guys together, go play and see what you're made of.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to me, that's what's so unique about it. And there's other things too, like the connection of, older guys, because typically you guys have a few more so older guys that are in school compared to like your incoming freshmen and things like that, just with your guys' recruiting, your relationships, that type of stuff. I also think it's cool that you guys bring some younger guys along with you as well too, because that's a big piece of doing right by the game and giving back to the game, I think, because the experiences for those guys are, it's going to help them more than they could even understand right
Absolutely.
now. But
we tried to talk to Kevin about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Because he was your bullpen catcher for the
He
past 2
was.
years,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
yeah,
I think Gavin's hooked him up with. Gavin's his head coach at
Exactly.
Northwest, and Gavin's one of our
Exactly.
assistant coaches. Yeah.
Yeah, and those experiences will just travel with those guys. But,
Yeah.
it's just seeing that all come together and being able to play against other teams. I don't know. It's just a beautiful thing. It's fun to watch that competition. Personally, my personal opinion, I think your guys' job is a lot harder than the like KCLB teams, just because like these guys are together in the summer. They get to play more games together. They get more familiarized with one another, and just in the general sense, it doesn't necessarily mean this every time, but in the general sense, like when the guys you're playing with, usually you have a little bit more of that connection there in certain lights. But higher level guys, right? Doesn't matter who's out there, right? You think minor league baseball, things like that, half the time they don't know anybody out there playing, right? It's just everybody's got to do their job. They understand the game, go execute.
Yep.
So, it's kind of that same flow of how everything works. So it's just it's a cool thing to see that you guys have been able to put it together. You've been able to win it, and you've been competitive, pretty much every single year, right?
Yeah.
The first year might have been a little rocky, but other than that, you still were winning. I think you still won some games that year too. So it's just it's fun to watch that all unfold, and hopefully there's other guys out there that see this and that want to put some things together and do it for a good cause and try to give back to something and actually like put it all out there on the line and just go compete.
Yeah.
Go let them hang and just have some fun while you do it.
For sure. I will say too, the we can move on if you want to or keep talking about the roster build. I love recruiting. I mean, that's
dude. This is
99,
about.
yeah.
Listen, this is
That's-
about you.
yeah. So when
This
I
is
say
not
like,
about our question.
and this is exactly Baca and I's dynamic with the curve. I
Yep.
was like the recruiting coordinator, player development, off-season type stuff. He ran the game. He was the game manager. I'm the same thing with Tessa's Army. Recruiting all year round. And then when it gets to be like, I just want to sit and watch. I let Jake and Gavin and Beans do all the game management. But I will say, you know, the roster build out's the same. You touched on the high school kids. I typically try to get 5 or 6 seniors. So 2026, I'll try to get 5 or 6 senior arms to come help. We'll have 2 catchers. We've kind of found a sweet spot. 32 is maybe a little too much just because we don't want to waste anybody's time. So 27, 28, we'll have an additional infielder, and then we'll have 4 outfielders, and we roster as many arms as possible. And I tell the guys when I'm on the phone, I don't know. I can't guarantee you anything. I can guarantee you a roster spot, but playing time, I have no idea.
Yep.
And the first 2 games in pool play are kind of a mini tryout for us.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
Yeah.
So
See what's going on.
yeah. Yeah.
Who are you?
I mean,
All right.
we have an idea based off their spring
Sure,
stats,
sure.
of course. And then, each year too, I think it's another thing that's been cool is, 2023 was kind of a show and go. The guys just showed up the night before and laced them up, played.
Yep.
2024, we got the guys to come in a day earlier. We went to Fuzzy's Tacos. We had a team dinner. And this year we were able to, we started on a Wednesday. We had guys coming in the weekend before.
Yeah. That's
And we
awesome.
were doing in and outs at Northwest.
That's
and
cool.
had a couple team barbecues. And like, I think the team
It's
chemistry
evolving.
this year
It's
was
e-
better.
Yeah,
it's
I love that.
Yeah, we just got unlucky. The Heat just beat us. That's what it is.
On the recruiting side
Yeah.
as well, has it been helpful? And maybe this has happened, maybe it hasn't. But has it been helpful? Like some player, like mini testimonies about kind of playing for you guys, playing for that cause, and
Yeah.
helping get other people in.
Absolutely. So let me think here. In 2024, we had 4 or 5 KCK guys. Brady Patterson, who's now at Pitt State, playing for Buck. He's been with us this will be his 4th year. But yeah, he came up the first year, and he really had a good time, enjoyed the experience, and so then that domino effect kind of led to some more KCK guys. Oklahoma Wesleyan, kind of the same way. We had a kid last year, Luke Farrar, the home run derby champion. He actually played for Farmhouse Sports Performance in 2024.
Oh.
So when we connected, I was like, "Yeah, Tessa's Army." And he's like, "Wait a second, you guys beat us." I'm like, if you're gonna play for him again, then tell me that now. You
Yeah.
know, I had no idea he played for him.
Yeah.
So I think that the name recognition is certainly helping us out, and then players that I get back or returners, I always ask them too. You know, Sheldon, do you have anybody at wherever you're at that you'd like to come or that they might like to come? And if I don't know them or they've never played, I'll get them on the phone 1, 2, 3, 4 times just to make sure that they're not a cancer. Because I think we put together a good product, and everybody so far has gelled pretty well together. And I just don't want, the wrong
Well, you
guy.
don't have the time.
Yeah,
You
the
know?
wrong guy to come in.
You got two days of tryouts on Wednesday and Thursday, and like, hey, we need to
That's
put the
right.
best guys out there on
That's
Friday.
right.
I'm still waiting on a Tessa's Army hat from 4 years ago.
I got you guys your sizes. I just it's not done yet.
Oh, fair enough.
So when I bring those by as a quarter zip, I'll bring a hat and a quarter zip
Oh,
by.
heck yeah.
Oh, damn,
That's
thank
awesome.
you so
Hey, man,
much.
you brought me coffee.
Yeah,
That's all-
coffee.
that's all I'm- yeah.
7
You're-
brew.
Yeah.
7 brew for the win
Yeah.
over here.
I was ready to say something to you, just leave, and then you had the coffee. So I'm like, oh.
Hey, I'm not out there playing. You take that up to players.
So Sean has mentioned that every time we do a podcast about teams in the SBS, they've always beat
yeah,
the Mud Daubers to go different places, and it's one of the it's like a I don't know a little knife in the side for him, and Sean, I hate to bring it up, but what's the experience like for you coaching the Mud Daubers against a team like Tessa's Army that's built a little different?
Yeah, so we played them last, or it was 2024.
24,
Right?
yeah.
24, yeah. So, yeah, it was a good game. And it's super low scoring. We lost 2-1 or 3-2, something like that. 3-1,
Yeah.
super low scoring game. But I think what's interesting, you look at the different dynamics. There's like with the Daubers or any other KCLB team you play, we've been playing all summer together, and then like the trade off of that is, yeah, I mean, especially our teams, we usually have some really like good guys, good chemistry, but We also, towards the end of summer, lose guys,
Mm-hmm.
and they want to, they schedule something or coach wants them back early, whatever that means,
That's a
and
lie.
yeah, it's never happened in
That's
the
not
history of
true.
baseball. But
We
But,
know you guys are lying, so
yeah.
just save yourself.
Just
We
be honest
call
and
your
say you don't wanna
coaches.
play.
Yeah,
we
just-
call your
just-
coaches.
Well, just be
Yeah.
honest. Like,
never,
don't be a
never in
piece
my
of shit.
college career.
I
did-
wanna
did
go
my
see
coach
my
tell me-
girlfriend.
Yeah,
Right.
never in my college career did my coach call me back on August 1st.
Right.
But anyway, and so it is really interesting when we play you guys. You guys are together for 2 days. We're together for 2 months. So it's very obviously it's very impressive to see, because I mean you can have the most talented team, but if they're not gelling together, if they don't do their jobs on the baseball field well in that scenario, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So that dynamic of you kind of get to the end of the grind, but then you're facing a team who's hungry and is starting the grind of 5 days. So I think there's the
Yep.
different dynamic there. And then you guys, you run a pretty tight ship and roll along. So I don't like making excuses, but our two best hitters were missing
Yeah.
in that game against you guys. They left the week before, but yeah, it was a great game though. I mean, it was cool playing you guys, and it's always fun to. It's cool that you guys do it first
Yeah.
of all, and then it's also just it's fun to watch you guys compete that well for getting a squad together in such a short amount of time.
Yeah. Absolutely. I appreciate the kind words. Yeah.
So I want to talk about you've kind of talked about the evolution of Tessa's Army and how, show and go kind of thing. Then we're spending a little more time together each year.
Yeah.
The experience that the SBS provides, how has the evolution of that helped you guys? I mean, I feel like year one, wild and crazy, trying to figure it all out.
Right.
Year two for us is your year one. You just
Yeah.
hopped on the wagon and just rode that thing right through it.
Absolutely.
But the experience you guys have, we get to live it on both sides of, putting it on and being involved with some of the teams.
Yeah.
But for you don't have to worry about setting it all up or anything. What's that I don't know, experience and evolution of the Summer Ball Showdown been for you?
It's been a really positive experience. I mean, it's my week of baseball that I get each year, and I know you two pretty well, and so we appreciate the tournament and the product you guys put out there. But we like to spend more time together each year. I like that it's over the course of 5 days, so you don't have a starting pitcher that throws this Sunday and he's able to go again next Thursday or Friday. It's budget friendly. As much as you guys say it's local or regional, you do get a national draw. There's 22 or 24 teams, but then you also get some local flavor. And there's competition from high school to adults.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so, 20, 30 year gap range. We've sent high school kids on to college from the Summer Ball Showdown. We've sent post-grad kids on to indie ball from the Summer Ball Showdown. Had some guys win the home run derby. We've won a national championship. It's been a really good experience for coaches, players, fans. Yeah, all around.
It's good to hear that. I think the coolest part, don't get me wrong, the baseball's awesome, but the coolest part to me is that you guys have evolved into like a system that, guys are coming early. Guys, and we talk about this quite often, but sure, there's local quote unquote team names, but
Mhm.
they're all national, international players, right? Like,
Yeah.
so you guys are providing an experience like a lot of the other teams for these guys to come play baseball here. And sure, Tessa's Army's here, but the players are all from everywhere else,
Right.
and that's the part of it that I think is really, really cool. But then you guys are hanging out before the tournament. You're providing experiences for these guys to get to know each other and, be able to build relationships off the field, which end up being far more important than baseball down the road.
Absolutely.
And for me, that's what it's all about across all of the teams, but also just to see it locally happening. I think that's awesome. And I
Yeah.
think that's a lot of fun. I think that you guys are really it's just cool. Like, it's just a really cool experience for the players. And I don't think that people outside of the tournament, or your common fan looking at it, or whatever, really just understands how in depth that is,
Right.
and how much of that means, like,
Yeah.
because it just means so much for those players to get to meet new people and get to see all the different things that happen around here. And there's just a lot of legwork on the back end, like
Yeah.
you're explaining, that goes into that. And so I commend you on that, man, because it takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of effort, takes a lot of just dedication to it. You know, and we're all working jobs. You're working a job. You got a family. You know, you got all the things going on. But those experiences will stick with those guys, whether they understand it right now or not. But those are the experiences that are going to stick with them for the rest of their lives. And then hopefully they want to do cool stuff for the next generation down the road.
Absolutely.
So that side of it, I think, is the cool part. But do you guys have any, looking into this upcoming, I know you're probably doing some roster building right now. Like, do you have any names or any people out there that you expect to come play with you that maybe haven't played with you in the past? Maybe, or you can name some returners too, but you know, just some exciting people that you'd like to highlight.
Yeah. So, I mean, the high school guys usually change just a little bit
Sure.
depending on what their college coaches want to do with them. But I'll try to get 5 or 6 high school arms. I don't know those names yet.
Sure.
Some returners would be, we've had Brady Patterson. He'll be back. Tanner Pachorek is our shortstop. He's at Lubbock Christian now. He'll be back. Let me think. Tristan Curlis will be back. He's been with us for 3 years now. He was our closer in 24. He got us through a bunch of those games.
Yeah.
I'm forgetting a lot of names.
Oh, you're good.
But yeah, the foundation is typically 8. If I can get 8 to 10 guys from the previous year,
That's solid.
we're in a pretty good spot.
Yeah.
I don't, our catchers, I don't know that Braden Horn will be back if he has a good year at KCK. He goes D1, who knows what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob Mraz was our other catcher from Colby Community College, and they're from Colorado. I'm not sure what his plans are. Our first baseman's at Pine Bluff now. He's from the Houston area. It's so logistics, as bad as I want the guys to come back and as much as they have a good experience,
That
a lot of
always
that
works.
plays into
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Jackson Ellison, he played for us. He's set to have another really good year at Butler. Who knows what happens with him, Cash J, our third baseman, he was another returner. He's at Old Dominion now.
Yeah.
He spent a couple years at Washburn and is at Old Dominion, and he wants to play pro ball. So it's like, yeah, I'll come back if I'm available.
Right.
And I don't want to be available. I'm
Right.
like, I don't want you to be either.
Yeah,
I wish the
exactly.
best for you, you
Yeah.
know? So, yeah, you just start with returners and guys that are available and
Go from
build it
there.
out from there. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's cool to hear the schools that a lot of those guys are playing for. It just speaks to the
Yeah.
level of competition, not only on your team, but also in the tournament, just with the guys coming from all over the place to play and strap it up and get after it. It's fun to hear that. I think that, if you're on the outside looking into the SBS and you don't really know what's going on out there, like, the idea is that you should come check it out, because the
Absolutely.
baseball that's being played is super high level, super competitive. I know the KCLB teams, we struggle every year to get a bunch of returners.
Yeah.
So it's a common thing. And that's just the nature of the game in general, right? Like, guys want to bounce around. They want to go to different opportunities. They want to get their names out there as much
Right.
as they can. So
Yeah.
we deal with it as well. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just, that's just how it rolls. But
See, I think the opposite. I think what I do is cool, and there's a niche for it. But if I were to help one of you guys, like Bach has talked about, my 7U team is actually coming over to play for the Curve Machine Pitch.
oh yeah,
We're going to be the 7U Kansas Curve, so
There
I'm
you go.
excited for that. But he's talked about some of his
that is a little too young for the SBS, but we might make an exception.
You got to win the Hap Dumont.
He's talked about some of his challenges at the collegiate level with the college team, and it's like, man, I've had some of my time free up. If I could help you out with host families or recruiting, I think that'd be really cool. But I think selling a kid on being here 60 days is harder than
100%.
7 days. You know what I
Yep.
mean? So I
100%.
really respect the guys that are doing it throughout the course of the summer. A lot of the guys that I have aren't available all summer.
Mm-hmm.
So there-
Yeah, it's a challenge.
Good and
Host,
bad both.
host families are definitely the biggest challenge amongst all teams, because these guys obviously can't afford to pay to stay up somewhere for that long. Like, it's
Yeah.
an extended period of time. But we're pretty passionate in the KCLB of understanding, one, who we are and what we do, but then two, like, the purpose behind it, where you talked about guys training all summer and this whole, build yourself like a lab rat mentality. it just doesn't emulate on the game. So like what we do is very important. Sometimes players don't understand that. Sometimes coaches don't. Sometimes parents don't. But without host families and without like the backbone of these organizations, like it wouldn't be possible. So definitely shout out to the host families for helping us out, and the people that help you guys out. I'm sure for that 1 week, even then it's
His
still,
basement.
it's still a huge help.
My wife.
Yeah, still a huge help because those guys, like I said, those experiences that they're going to get out there, they'll remember them forever. The guys that are here for 60 days for us, I mean, Valley Center could probably tell you 10 different stories every single summer of guys that changed their careers, changed their lives, they changed their direction in life. Like there's so many positive outcomes that happen. We very, very rarely have negative ones. Like it's just it's a big picture perspective, but like that picture is a big thing and it helps tremendously and it fuels the sport. So it's a fun deal.
Well, I want to ask a question I've already asked you.
Sure.
The last time we interviewed, we did it on the Zoom call, but in 2024, you guys took home the Natty. Okay, I came walking up to you, and you're like sitting on your bucket, just staring off into space. Okay, walk me through all of those moments. Like literally, walk me through those moments because I've asked about it, and you were just like, "Oh man, it was so exciting."
Yeah,
but like, there's more to it. Like,
sure.
there's a way more to it. We have time to talk about it.
Yeah.
So walk me through all of those moments because one of the moments that I guess touched my heart the most was when your mom came out.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but start sitting on the bucket and then us walking up to you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it starts during the game, and Tristan was so good for us that summer that when we took the lead 11-10 or whatever it was, and then we put him in the game, we were like, all right, it's game over, or at least that's what we thought, And so then you start thinking about, like what the mission behind Tessa's Army is, and so there's a lot of emotions with that. And then my mom and dad are there, my in-laws are there, my wife and kids are there, all down the foul line, left field foul line. And I'm coaching with Jake, who's been my best friend since 5th or 6th grade, and Gavin Darr's been there with us since middle school, and Blake Stanford's Jake's brother-in-law. So there's a family dynamic. There's a close group of friends that are there. My family's there. My wife is there. We're doing this for my mom and for my sister's legacy, and then you're creating this opportunity for all these collegiate athletes to be evaluated at a high level and play for something bigger than them and potentially win a national championship. And then you guys have continued to grow. It's not just about me and Tess and my family. It's about everybody. It's about the tournament. It's about all the athletes being evaluated and competing. And you don't have a clear mind because there's so many thoughts, know, and you ask like right away, what are you feeling? And it's just it's like an out of body experience almost, that you're able to get all these kids here and that it just feels surreal, that you're able to, the goal is to win it, but I didn't know what year, and how long it would take. And that would have such a good group of, 30 guys that over 4 or 5 days have become pretty close, and so just all things clicked at the same time. A lot of, hard work, preparation, and a lot of luck.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Baseball is such a generational game. You're talking about having all those friends that you've known forever because of baseball.
Yeah.
In this family you met your wife at college
Yep.
playing baseball, and now you're coaching your kids' 7U team. They get to watch you win a national championship, know, and I think that's the beauty of the game right there. The beauty that somehow, some way, through all these intricate, intelligent design, baseball brings people all together. And yeah, I would, you have a moment like that. I would imagine it's quite surreal.
Yeah.
But other than that, just what do you do for a day job? What's your day-to-day look like? And then what else, outside of Tessa's Army, do you have going on?
So my day job is business development manager at Farha Roofing. We're roofing contractor, 80% commercial roofing, and then the remaining 20 is residential. I'm on the commercial side, so my day-to-day is different. I may be on the road 2 to 3 days a week. My primary market is education, so K through 12, universities, I'm looking for large portfolio clients in the education space. The past 5 years, I had been an estimator and project manager, and I cut my teeth in commercial real estate and manufacturing. That was my clientele. And I still have a core group of customers, but Ben is the president of our company, and we've kind of identified some spaces where we could see some growth in revenue and profit and market share. So the last 6 months, I've been on the road quite a bit in the education space. So that's my day job. And then, married with 3 kids. Been very fortunate the last year for my wife to be able to stay at home. She's actually going to start homeschooling our kids this fall. So we're excited for that.
Good luck.
Thank you. And then do some real estate investing, and in the middle of starting a small make-ready company. If you're familiar, do you guys know what a make-ready company is?
What's that?
So there's 6. I mean, there's more than 6 or 8 guys, but I've got some acquaintances and some clients and some friends that own a lot of residential real estate.
Mm-hmm.
So when a tenant moves out, they have to have a crew go in there and rehab it.
Oh,
We call
okay.
that a make ready.
Gotcha.
So I'm in the process of starting just a very small company, 4 to 6 guys, going to 1099 them all. And there are guys in town that, when a year lease is up, they need somebody to go in there and do that. And
That
so
makes sense. Yeah.
Fresh paint right over
I'll-
the outlet.
that's exactly right. Fresh paint, light fixtures, blinds, and things like that. Yeah. So
Turn and burn.
that's right.
Gotcha.
Paint the blinds.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
God, I hate painting.
Oh,
Painting is the
man.
worst thing in the world.
So is mudding and taping.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
So,
My shoulder's starting to hurt again.
Dang, just thinking about it, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, man, that was that's super cool that you have your hands in some more baseball. It's cool that
Yeah.
you said you've been able to free up some time.
yeah, absolutely.
I know in the past, like I bug the crap out of you sometimes, and we can't always link up and
Yeah.
and do stuff, but sounds like you're making way. Congrats on the new position.
yeah, thank you.
And then all the fun things you have outside of baseball.
That's right.
Because
There's
I
a
know
lot.
you're recruiting.
Yes.
So-
If I can tie in work with recruiting, I try to do that. If I'm down in Southeast Kansas, calling on a group, I map it out by county is how I do it. So I may go spend a day or two in Harvey County or Sedgwick County or Cali County. So if I'm in Cali County, it's a day trip, and Cali just happens to have a game. Maybe I'll stop by. It doesn't always work, obviously,
sure.
but if you can see a kid play live, and you can also call on your quota for the day, then it's a win-win.
So at home, do you have a board? You're like, you have your Kansas, and then the 4 states that you try to keep it close to. You're like, there's a pin for this guy, this guy, this guy. Like map out your whole situation. Oh, we're changing this from a red pin to a blue pin. Got one.
As far as players go,
Yeah.
well, I mean that's on the Excel spreadsheet.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I've got thousands of players on a spreadsheet, and I'm always talking to guys, either returners or guys I want,
Follow up with them and
prospects. Yeah.
Yeah, how's the relationship with previous players? I mean, we talk about the returners, but you've previously said that you follow up with them, check in on them,
Yeah.
and all of that stuff. How does that go for you? Like, do you feel like that's a relationship you'll have until they're done playing baseball or forever?
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of them are done playing. So in 2023, we did a couple Oklahoma Wesleyan guys. Jesus Rojas has become a good friend of mine. He's selling cars down there in Bartlesville, Oklahoma, which is where Oku's at. And yeah, he's going to come coach with us next year with Summer Ball Showdown, and he got married and has a kid on the way. And we not all of us talk, weekly, but it might be some of the guys. Maybe it's a Happy Thanksgiving or Merry Christmas. And some of the guys, it's a lot closer than that. You're in a group chat with them,
Yeah.
and you're talking daily. It just kind of depends on where everybody's at and the time they have to spend on that stuff. So.
All right. Who do you got going to the Super Bowl?
I like the Patriots.
Barf, but okay,
No?
whatever.
They
I
could.
just don't want them to reign
Nice.
supreme again.
New England's never beat Denver in the playoffs.
I mean, you can't really go wrong with anybody at this point.
in
you know?
Denver.
You know?
Yeah.
Every team has some dogs on it for sure. Yeah.
I read that stat though. Denver's 4-0 against New England
Are they?
when they play them.
I didn't read that stat. I knew that.
No, I don't
right.
think so. I don't think so.
Just kidding. I
Um,
don't care about
And the
Denver.
40, and I'm a fantasy football guy too, so the 49ers are kind of hard to bet against. I had McCaffrey, and he's He's a dog.
Yeah.
I mean, they got a bunch of them.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Um,
You just got to stay healthy.
yeah.
All the EMF stuff that's going on. Who knows if that's real or not? But
Yeah.
you know, somebody's going to look into it. Maybe they'll put a big Faraday cage around it to stop everything. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but here's the part of the show where we allow you to just, you know, give your shout outs,
Sure.
you know, say some cool, encouraging words for the people who, you know, you reach out to and some maybe younger generation that listens and needs to hear something about how you grew in your game for baseball and life in general.
Sure. Well, first, I'd like to thank our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, because without Him, you know, none of us would be here, and this wouldn't be possible. I'd like to thank my wife, secondly, for allowing me to do what I do on a daily basis to provide for our family, and for her to work even harder as a stay-at-home mom, because God knows I don't want to do that. I love my kids, but and then as far as baseball goes, you know, thank you to Jacob Jones and Blake Staniford, Brandon Phillips, my coaching staff. They, you know, we get together a couple times throughout that week and have a couple beers and talk about the roster and just kick it, you know, like the old days. Thank you to all the players we've had over the years. Thank you to the players we're going to have in the future. And for anybody who, you know, may not play for us but is looking for a place, they should definitely consider the KCBL. And for any teams out there,
KCLB.
KCLB.
That's what he meant.
for
Yeah,
any
yeah.
teams out there that are looking for a postseason tournament, the Summer Ball Showdown is something you should also consider. And whether you play for me or the league or Summer Ball Showdown, I think that playing is better in general. So get out there and work hard, and good things will happen.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
Love it, man. Thanks for hopping on with
Yeah,
us.
Yeah,
thanks
thank
for
you.
having me.
Yeah, it's great.
Sean, can you lead us in prayer, please?
Sure can. All right. Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for waking us up. And just pray for just the city, all the communities. This storm coming in, so just keep everybody safe on the roads. Keep people smart, paying attention as they're driving out there. Be with everybody, all the city workers working on the roads for us, and making sure everybody is having power, and all that stuff. So prayers up for them, of course. Thank you for this conversation. Thank you for Evan and what he does with Tessa's Army, and what a great cause that is, what a great message it is, and what a great opportunity for the players that is, Lord, and being part of the tournament here. And just pray the recruiting process goes well. Pray for his wife getting ready to homeschool, Lord, and be with her in that, and be with him out on the road, staying safe with his travels, and of course his new business as well, Lord. And just pray for players out there, and anybody else who would be hearing this conversation, and know that playing is just a great option over everything, because I mean this amazing connections that baseball can make, and you never know whether it's 5 days or 2 months, 6 days, whatever it might be. Just the beauty of baseball, and the beauty that you use this sport to bring people together with so many great relationships through different generations, Lord. And in Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Well, that's it for episode 63. Evan Smith leading the way with Tessa's Army through the Summer Ball Showdown and the T for Tess golf tournament. Such a great cause, awesome conversation.